Today we're making cheater pants Reubens. You're going to need 1 prepackaged corned beef brisket, 1 package of pickling spice, a 1/4 cup of water, a 1/4 teaspoon of liquid smoke, some kind of firm bread like marbled rye or sourdough, spicy brown mustard, Thousand Island dressing, sauerkraut, and provolone or Swiss cheese. Good morning, guys. It is about 15 minutes before I'm walking out the door to go to school, and I wanted to go ahead and start dinner for tonight. Now, tonight we're making what we call cheater pants Reubens. Now, anytime we call it cheater pants, it just means that it is a shortcut. So what we're going to do today is we're going to use a corned beef brisket and our trusty crock pot, and I'm going to show you a super simple way to have delicious Reubens ready when you walk back in the door. Okay, so like always, I have washed my meat. If you buy a prepackaged corned beef brisket, it's going to come with a little package of pickling spice. This is going to give it that corned beef flavor. You can use just a regular cut of brisket from your butcher or from your grocery store, but you may want to add the pickling spice, and you can get this on the spice aisle, and it's just going to give it that extra flavor. Now, I'm going to actually turn my crock pot on. I'm going to let it get hot. And super simple recipe. I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of water down in the bottom. I'm going to take my pickling spice and I'm just going to kind of sprinkle a little bit of it on one side of the meat. I'm going to go ahead and put it down inside the crock pot and sprinkle the other side of the meat. One thing that our family really likes is we like a little bit of smoky flavor. So I'm going to add about a 1/4 teaspoon of liquid smoke. Now, you do not want to overdo this stuff because it can get very strong very quickly. And I'm just going to sprinkle that on top. I'm going to put the lid on. And I'm going to sit this on low and let it cook all day long while we're at school. Alright guys, so I just got home from school and the crock pot has been working on low all day long. We're going to take a look at our corned beef, and it's definitely looking good and smelling good. You know that it's tender when you can just touch it with a fork and it pulls apart really easily. Now, this is where you have some choices, and it's up to what your family likes. Some people like their roast beef shaved. Some people like it cut up into chunks. We're going to be making Reubens, so our family kind of likes it chunked up into small little pieces, so we're going to do that next. Okay, so I've taken the corned beef out of the crock pot, and this is just super duper tender. I mean, after cooking slow all day, it's just falling apart. My family does like theirs chopped up, so I'm going to do that. But you will notice that there's lots of areas where there's just a lot of extra fat. And normally I love fat, but there is so much flavor in the meat itself that you can just go ahead and just pull that extraneous fat off, unless you just really, would like a mouthful of fat. And this really is tender. It's just falling apart. But I'm just going to take it and just slice it. It's just falling apart. And then just doing a small chop. If your family likes it sliced, or if you liked it pulled, whichever way you like it, do it. My family doesn't like to bite into a Reuben and have the meat come off the bread, so we usually like to have it cut up into smaller pieces. Now, when you're making Reubens, you want to make sure that you use a sturdy bread. Today we're using some marbled rye. Sourdough is also really good to use, but you just don't want to use anything that's super duper soft because it is a little bit more moist and it will cause your bread to fall apart. Another thing that I do when I'm using either a stiff sourdough or a marble dry is this is one of the very few times that I will actually use margarine instead of butter. And I want to just butter one side of the bread. These are actually going to be grilled just on the stove. You can use a skillet, or if you have a griddle, it's great. But you just want to butter one side of your bread. And then you have to put your ingredients together. Now, traditionally, whenever you have a Reubens sandwich, you're going to have some kind of spicy mustard. Just choose the kind you like. If you like the really super duper chunky German style, go ahead and get it. Another traditional sauce that's on a Reuben is Thousand Island dressing. I love a lot of it. My husband only likes a little. You also want cheese. Now there's two trains of thought on this. Either you can use provolone or Swiss, whichever one is your favorite. My family prefers provolone. You want to stack your meat up. You want a good portion. You don't want to go away from eating a Reuben and still feel hungry. And then the last thing is totally up to you, but many Reubens include sauerkraut. And again, this is something that I really like, my family not so much, so we'll just do kind of a light spacing on this one. We're going to put this together, and this one's going to be ready to hit the griddle. So you want to go ahead and get your griddle or your skillet hot, and just go ahead and you're going to toast both sides till it's nice and warm. Now Reubens are messy, so if when you flop it over a little bit falls out, that's okay. Reubens are a wonderful, warm, delicious, hearty sandwich, and with very minimal preparation in the morning, it makes putting this dinner together at the end of the day super duper simple. I hope you enjoy it. If you enjoy these recipes and you would like them to continue, be sure to like, comment, and share. Thanks, guys.